An Ohio man says his niece would still be alive had there been tougher domestic violence laws. And tonight, the people who create those laws are listening. And as Walter Smith Randolph found out, part of the proposal is already happening in Hamilton County. Right, Walter?
Yeah, that's right, Cammie. This new bill takes a three-pronged approach to help survivors of domestic violence while also making sure violent offenders are not allowed to plead down to lesser crimes. While it's inspired by a deadly case out of the Cleveland area, local domestic violence advocates say it's sorely needed across the entire state. Former Judge Lance Mason is accused of stabbing his estranged wife to death. Mason has a previous domestic violence conviction. Angela Inglis with the YWCA says this happens more often than you might think.
It happens everywhere. And in Ohio last year, there were 91 domestic intimate partner fatalities.
Inglis says it shows why tougher domestic violence laws are needed.
I think this is a really important step forward as a state and as a community that we can make in doing better to protect the most vulnerable victims.
The bill is named for Aisha Fraser, Mason's alleged victim. It would ensure repeat violent offenders do not plead to a lesser crime like disorderly conduct. The bill also says if police are called to a domestic violence scene, law enforcement must conduct a screening. If that screening shows a serious problem, police and social workers would then check in with the abuser and the victim.
Intimate partner homicides are predictable. They have these commonalities. So when somebody answers these questions in a certain way and it's flagged as high risk, we can then do something about it.
It's a program already working in Colerain Township. Inglis says it changes the way the community looks at domestic violence.
This kind of shifts that perspective and says, you know, we as a community need to get better at managing these most dangerous offenders.
Aisha's uncle says the bill could also save a life.
With what's going on with women in America today, this is one more thing that must be put on the menu.
The YWCA is currently working to build a domestic violence center in downtown Cincinnati where victims can get the services they need. As for Lance Mason, he's being held on $5 million bail at the Cuyahoga County Jail. Cammie?
All right, Walter, thank you. State senators introduced Aisha's law yesterday, so it has a long way to go before it becomes law.